Hey everybody, Jim Chester here. I'm at Focus OKC. This is a big event that Tim Young puts on, and I'm not a chiropractor, and neither is Dr. Amy. She is here as a veterinarian, and honestly, why did you decide that this was a good place for you to land today?
Well, I'll tell you honestly, we run an animal chiropractic school. So we train veterinarians and chiropractors how to do animal chiropractic. And so we came because we knew it would be a great place to meet up with some people who are passionate about chiropractic, where the good news about chiropractic is being given out, so that we could interest them in learning about animal chiropractic, because animal chiropractic is that huge little niche that nobody else is out there doing.
And I know off camera we were talking about some pretty controversial topics. Let's first talk about how to keep pets healthy, not just with chiropractic, but understanding the long-term effect of what we do for our pets when we think that we're doing the right things for them.
That's a hot topic. So I'm a veterinarian, right? I went to veterinary school. I've been a veterinarian for like 20 years. And even some of my classmates who have they've unfriended me on Facebook because they think I'm not being true to the veterinary principles. But here's the thing. Our first goal in life is to do no harm. And we as veterinarians have a tendency to be broad instead of narrow and tall in terms of our practice. So we add on new things every day. Oh, I got a new drug. I got a new this. I got a new ultrasound. Rather than looking more deeply at how that animal functions and how it works. And so with animal chiropractic, what we can do is look more deeply at the immune system and the immune function of those animals. And so rather than just pump them full of, here, try this drug, here, try that drug, which most of those drugs all have side effects, rather than do that, we can let the immune system and the nervous system of that animal fix the animal and do its job first. I mean, unless there's blood gushing out or broken bones, you should have your animal checked by a chiropractor first.
And why is that so important to understand the somatic response to the body of the animal, instead of thinking that there's a pill, a potion, or a lotion that's going to solve the animal's health concerns?
Well, I look at it this way. These animals evolved for hundreds of thousands of years without any drugs. They lived, they reproduced, they carried on, they became, more and more of them. And they did it all without our help. So what makes us think that we are smarter or better than what made them in the first place? Why is it that we put more trust and faith in man-made synthetic drugs than we do in the body itself? Especially in my mind, and I'm not a horribly religious person, but in my mind, it's especially true for those people who are, I'll pray for your dog because he's dying. You know what? Maybe you should put more faith in your dog or your horse or your cow's innate ability to heal, and less faith in those drugs and those pharmaceuticals.
So what happens when we start doing chiropractic adjustments on animals?
When we start doing them, so here's what we find. Those animals that get routine maintenance chiropractic adjustments, not just my dog is paralyzed, can you fix it, but they get maintenance every month, whether they have illness or injury or not. Those animals thrive, they live longer lives, they do better. We see a ton of, and by a ton I mean some of the really probably top athletic animals in the world, and that's why they're the top, because they're firing at 100% capacity. They're not just at that a little bit, 95, he needs some pain medication. They're firing at the top level of their game, and they're able to make the best decisions they can because their brain and their spinal cord are working. And what also happens with that, so your dog's got diarrhea or constipation. Guess what? It's the innervation to that nerve, to that GI tract that's causing that. And we need to get that nervous system working better so that we can help him get over it.
So I guess the next question it leads me to ask you is, why do people invest so much into their pets and their animals?
They love them. So Just we anthropomorphize these animals. Not that they have feelings. We're all connected. Not only are we all connected, we're connected to everything. So we're connected to our animals. Some of you may be familiar with, there's a physics principle called the entanglement theory. If I spend a little bit of time with James, then guess what? If I spend enough time with him, if I know he's going to call me, I'll know it before the phone rings. That's the entanglement theory. We do that with our pets. We spend a ton of time with them. We talk to them, we tell them things that we know they're never going to tell anybody else. So they hold our secrets. So we put a lot of emotional value into them as well. So we're very closely connected. But here's the other thing. We're connected to everything around us. So if we're putting, say, for instance, a vaccine or an antibiotic, not just in our pets, but in, let's say, the cows and the chickens, everything that comes out the backside of that animal still has those medications in it. And there are some medications that actually, once they hit the ground, they kill all the microbes in the soil. And when we kill those microbes in the soil, I don't care if you're a vegetarian or not and don't want to eat that cow, if somebody's putting something in that cow that kills the microbes in the soil, you're not going to have any plants to eat either, because the soil can't sustain plant growth without the microbes that help it. So we're all connected in that way. And when we adjust these animals, they can balance their parasite loads even better. So they can have a few worms, they can even have a few fleas, and still not have that flea allergic dermatitis or allergies that are causing them to itch and scratch and shake their heads and have all kinds of problems.
So I guess my next question is this, and this is a fun interview, by the way. What is the solution for people?
What is the solution for people
that want their pets to be healthy?
Well, that's a really easy answer.
Mm-hmm. I set you up there.
Yeah, I like that. So the easiest solution is get your animals adjusted by an AVCA certified animal chiropractor. And I say that because there are a lot of people out there who have never had any training. They're not veterinarians, they're not chiropractors, and they're calling themselves animal chiropractors because the legislation on it's a little wishy-washy. But what you want is someone who is AVCA certified, because we know what they've been trained, we know they know what they're doing, and they're going to get the biggest bang for your buck. They're going to help that animal live the longest, and it's going to cost tiny amounts compared to those emergencies that you end up with because of injury or illness.
So I know that we're letting out right now, but let's close out and let's say some nice things for Tim Young and what he's doing here and why more people should be here on year number 10.
Awesome. Well, I would definitely be here again because this brings people together and helps them to understand what chiropractic is and does. And I would be here for number 10 because there is absolutely no reason in the state of Oklahoma that every chiropractor shouldn't be trained in animal chiropractic, because it's the best state in the country in terms of legalities to be doing animal chiropractic in.
Awesome. Well, Amy, thank you so much for being my guest today.
Thank you.
I'm going to close out with everybody. If you guys didn't make it to OK Focus, Tim Young's event out here in Oklahoma City this year for number 9, make sure you come out here for the big one, which is year number 10. I'll be here as well. And I'm going to close out by saying you're just one story away. What do I say? Keep hustling. See you on the next one.